Hey, this is Richard from Spirits of Japan. Hope you're doing well. This is my third installment of our virtual Kyoto tours that I've been uploading. We did Fushimi Inari first, then we did Nijo Castle. Not to scale. A lot of tools I don't have to make the little things a little more realistic, but it's kind of fun going through it. We're sitting here. This is Kyoto Station. We'll go through this station later on, but I've kind of built it up, and I've got the town kind of done. Let me jump up in the air here. This, of course, is Kyoto Tower. Pretty cool, huh? That's West and East Honganji, which is not close at all. And then, of course, we have over there, we have Nijo Castle. Way at the end of the road is the Golden Pavilion. I have Arashiyama done. That's the Kyoto Imperial Palace. It's done. Silver Pavilion and Nanzenji's done. And then I did Kiyomizudera. So I'm going to do this, and I'm going to do Kiyomizudera today. That'll be our third installment. Then I'll do our Nanzenji Philosopher's Path walk up to the pavilion. I don't know. I know I'm going to do Arashiyama in one. So there's a lot to do. Right now, let's go to the east. And you know that Kiyomizudera is not this close. It's up on the east mountain, Higashiyama. And so you remember, all of this was ocean, and I built this over the ocean. Seriously, over the ocean. Let's just drop down into the ocean, and you can see that I built all this. This is all ocean. So let's pop out of the ocean and take our tour of Kiyomizudera. Kiyomizudera, you come up to it as far as you can by taxi, and then there's a U-turn here which goes down another road, but I'm not putting that in. And it comes this little town. This town is about, I guess, a good 15-minute walk, 20-minute walk, because you want to stop and check out all the cool things that are there. 80% retail, 20% food and beverage. So there's not a lot, the pork buns made with Kyoto beef, fans for, your kimono, stuff like that. There's a lot of different little shops. Right now, most of them are all closed because there's no Chinese people coming. So, but I've only put 7 shops in here because it'd take me forever to put about 80 of them, which are there. But once you come to the end of the road, this is all uphill from here. And again, I didn't do that. But I did build the first gate that we come to. And you'll see down in the bottom left-hand corner the real picture of it. But this is called the Nihonmon Gate. Now, mon means gate. So I just said Nihonmon Gate. Neo Gate. And what a mon has compared to a Shinto Torii gate, it always has what we call Neo inside, on the left and right side. Neo are deities or demons that protect the Buddhist teachings, not the Bodhisattva, the Buddha inside, but the word of the law of the universe, which is, we'll get into that later. But anywho, the gate is pretty impressive, as you see at the bottom left-hand corner there. And my favorite demons, Neo, are at Todaiji, at the first gate there. They're absolutely massive and beautiful. And the ones, this one, I can't make demons and statues. So all I could do is put a dragon head in there. So there's your dragon head. This represents the chicken wire that covers it. But you get the idea. There's a gate, a mon. Some of them, when we go to Nanzenji, we'll get one's called a sanmon. San means 3 entrance gate. This is just a regular 1 entrance gate. And it's protected by the demons, and you go through if they allow you through. Now, usually you would go down here and then back up some massive stairs. But again, like I said, there's only so much I can do. We do come to a little pagoda on the right-hand side. And this is our little 3-story pagoda. All pagoda from India to Japan are facing east because the spread of Buddhism would go east. There's only one in all of Japan that faces west. I'll tell you about that if you come on tour with me. All pagodas are usually 5 stories high. That's to represent the 5 elements of water, wind, land, and fire. The 5th element is not the girl in the Bruce Willis movie, but is actually yourself and how you you relate to the other elements. I took Aikido 14 years, so we had a lot of this element talk. But this particular storehouse only has three because, Pagoda has three because it's a storehouse, and usually storehouses house things from other temples. They house stuff they've gotten from other countries, maybe sutras, whatever they've got that's important, they would house inside there. Usually having a yearly spring opening airing out ceremony that you can attend. Past the pagoda is the first building here is called the Zuigodo Hall. It's got a bodhisattva in it, and I think we've gone over the 10 worlds of hell, hunger, anger, animality, humanity, heaven, learning, realization, bodhisattva, which is near enlightenment, and Buddhahood, which is enlightenment. Bodhisattvas are beings that can reach Buddhahood and know they can, but they refuse to enter that state because as a bodhisattva they can stay and help people in suffering. So they've chosen to do that. So I guess in some other thought processes you could think of them as angels. Sorry, I had to have a little coffee. But the Daizuigu Bodhisattva who's in here, this particular hall was dedicated to the mother of the Buddha, who actually passed away when he was 7 days old. And she says that if you come in here and make an offering to her, so it's not like a Shinto shrine. You would just you would ring the bell. Didn't get the bell. No? There you go. Ring the bell, and then you would make the offering. I don't know how to get a bed there. Gosh. Make the offering and say your prayer that you like to relieve all of your karmic sins, the bad, negative karmic sins that you've created. And then you would, by walking through her womb, you're virtually, this time virtually, reborn, because you're going to come out her womb. We're going to go in here and come out here. And you pay 100 yen here to have that privilege. And make you take your shoes off. And there's a railing here. You put your shoes in the bag. You hold that in your right hand. In the left hand, you grab the railing here, and you walk down into her womb. So as you see, I've laced this with obsidian, which is definitely cool power. And then we move along here. And we can still see a little bit here, but in the actual, if you go there to Zuigodo Hall, you can put your hand in front of your face and you can't even see it. So, and then when you get so far, you make a left-hand turn, you start to see a little bit of a light, and you come around underneath her, which has a big stone here. And this stone, you're supposed to put your hand on it and say your prayer, and you can actually move the stone. It's on a pedestal that you can actually move the stone. And once you've moved it, then you move on because people are coming in behind you there. You're not supposed to talk, giggle, laugh, all that stuff. And then you're supposed to make your way out of here. Hold on. There we go. Like this. And then here you put your shoes back on. And, there'll be more people going in here. So now, officially at this point, don't do anything wrong. Now you've cleansed yourself. You can say thank you one more time and be on your way. So that's kind of what it looks like. Kind of what it looks like. You go down here, and we come to the back side here, and there's literally a I can't remember right now. It's some vines. I don't think it's a wisteria tree, but you have these vines coming off of this beautiful area, and in the summer they've got little spray nozzles shooting water out for you because it's so damn hot. And you walk through that, and then you come to these storage rooms. There's actually 3 storage rooms here. I only put in 2 because after I put in 2 and I built the gate, I remembered the third one. I go, the hell with it. The people get the idea. Then you right here is a building that you can't really see the view because you're paying for your 400 yen entrance fee. And then you say, okay, well, wait a minute. You go over here and there's a place where you do your cleansing like at a Shinto shrine. But you haven't seen a torii gate. Here's another regular gate, but there's no torii gate, but yet there's a shrine, and you're going to cleanse to go in? It's like, what? It's a temple. It's not a... But you got to remember, even though shrines were around from 660 BC in Japan and have a 2,680-year history, Buddhism wasn't introduced till 560 AD. So from that time, it was fused together. So from 560 to 1868, if you watch The Last Samurai, is when that emperor outlawed samurai, they also split up Buddhism and Shinto to go their separate ways. And you still have temples and shrines that are built on the same property. So here you would cleanse anyway. Then you would go through the gate. There'd be a guy standing here to get your ticket. And the first thing you do is you got to go off to the right here. Now, I did not recreate this. Remember, this was all ocean. And I built up this forest in the back here just for shits and giggles. But yeah, there's a real beautiful view of another pagoda way on the other side for easy childbirth. But again, I didn't put that in. You on my tour, we'll take you over there. But this is kind of what you see. You see some more vines going on here. You come over here and you bam. I put two anvils here because at Kiyomizu, excuse me, at Kiyomizu, you can actually see where there were bad people there too. And until the authorities could come, they had to detain those people. So they'd shackle them to these huge iron bars or iron sandals, and the stuff you can touch here and get an idea of what that stuff, how heavy it was. And then you walk on into the hall. Now, what's cool about Kiyomizudera is that, not only does it have like over 400 cedar trees that built the underneath foundation and on the inside here, and I can't because I don't have cedar trees in my Minecraft mod here, but you get the idea. There's all these beautiful pillars. And what's cool about this place is you can actually take your shoes off. You go up inside. You can ring the bell, and you can say a prayer right here at the table. And then once you've done that, there's always a line that goes around. And in regular Kiyomizu back here, and I didn't put it in, there's all these R-hats and demons that have promised to protect this. Again, no statue, but this would be a Bodhisattva cannon with a K, K-A-N-N-O-N. She's a multiple-armed bodhisattva with multiple heads. So she could have up to 11 heads, 1,000 arms, and people pray to her because she is a far-reaching Buddha. I don't know what my daughter's doing back there with her milk, so Mama went to check it out. So anyway, so it's cool that you can go up and you can actually participate and walk around on the inside. A lot of the temples don't allow you to do. They allow you to look at it from afar. Some allow you to go in. Most of them only want you to come to like here, and then they have like a little fence here, and they won't let you get up in there. But that's why it's cool, and that's why it's probably very popular. There's a deck out here that they said, and we're just going to take a peek really quick. It's I think a 16 meter drop. I can't remember. I haven't been on tour in a couple of days, and this is a 190 square meter building here. You could jump off, make a wish and jump off, and if you landed and survived, your wish would come true. You go on tour with me, I'll tell you how many survived. So it's like in English we say take a leap of faith. And jumping off Kiyomizu is a term that used in Japanese for that same purpose. Take a leap of faith. So, you would walk through the rest of the hall. You could, and once you come out the back of the hall, actually there's a bookstore over here where I put these roses. But I wasn't going to put that in because these other buildings are more important. But to the left of the bookstore, you go up here and you come to Jisho Love Shrine, not the Love Shack. You go to the Love Shrine first, and then you go to the Love Shack, which is just a little old place where we can get together. And at the Jisho Love Shrine, you're going to see a statue here. Again, I can't do statues of this god called Okuninushi. Now, Okuninushi, who was married to the goddess Ikutama, kind of took care of this land before the first emperor came down. See, the main superpower goddess, Amaterasu, had a little bit of an issue trying to get her son and grandson and great-grandson to move their ass and come down here and take over the world. And be, and become emperor. And it was finally the fourth great-grandson that took the opportunity to do it. But then Okuninushi and Ikutama had settled in and they had to fight for it. Jima had to fight for it. And there's a really cool story about that, and about a three-legged crow, all kinds of cool stuff. But anyway, Okuni Nushi finally relented and said, "Screw it! I'm going to be the god of compassion and love." And so he's pretty cool because he can be very, very small, the size of your thumb, or he can be real big. And this particular shrine has two of these rocks. All right, and you go from you make the pilgrimage here, and if you can go over here and see, back up against this rock like that, close your eyes and walk to the next rock. Boop, didn't make it. I had my eyes closed. And you can walk to the next rock by yourself. You'll find your true love. If you miss it, like I just did, that means you're not ready for true love yet. Now, you can go from that rock to this rock and be escorted. But then again, you have to, now remember, this is 18 meters. This is 60 feet, all right? You can be escorted, but that means at that time that you have to have a go-between. You'll have to have somebody assist you from time to time in that marriage. So there you go. When you go there, make sure you hit the Jisho Love Shrine. There's a place where they sell knickknacks and amulets and love amulets over here. There's another building over here that does the same thing. And then you go to the shrine, you pray for your loved one. You know, I want to love her. There's an old country music song by Travis Tritt that says, he's sitting at the bar and he's singing a love song. He goes, I ain't met you yet, but this is what I'm going to do when I meet you. So it's kind of like that, you know they're coming, so you go there and you pray that you'll meet them, and when you meet them, there'll be a fire in your eyes that you'll be able to see and all that good stuff. Here's a couple of temples here. Again, this is all not to scale here because there's a couple of temples. Right here, there's a huge staircase leading down to the waterfall. And I wasn't about to build deeper into the ocean. It takes so much time and effort. I just built the waterfall over there. And it's way bigger than... and when I was finished with it, I go, the hell with it. It looks good. So, but between these two temples, you're walking to on the left. Now, you got to remember, all these temples have different Buddhas inside them. You see these little round, chubby-faced Buddhas that look like Pillsbury Doughboys. During Shakyamuni's lifetime, 50 years of teaching, he talked about 24 other Buddhas. And Buddhas of other, 2,600 years ago, he was talking about major and minor world systems. So you're going to hear about, there's a problem that he heard about. He knew that this particular Buddha, because they were all connected through their pineal gland, that he knew this other Buddha and such world system had the same problem. So he would give a parody and story of how that Buddha got out of that problem, you see. And so there's tons of Buddhas. And then when the Buddha died, he said, don't make any statues of Buddhas, and everybody did anyway. So, it's just freaking out of control. It is what it is. I myself am a 38-year practitioner of Lotus Sutra Buddhism, which we don't deal with statues and all that stuff. But all these statues you see are not necessarily the historical Buddha. Remember that. When you come on my tour, I'll give you a little bit more in-depth consultation about that. It only takes about 10 minutes. I try not to spend too much time on it, but I want you to be clear. And anywho, the whole reason I put these here is because right in the middle, and there's actually a little shack here that a couple of little ladies sit in. If you got to walk around, and you come here, and there's a shrine kind of snuggled back into the back here. Excuse me. The Jizo is a entity, a deity, that Jizo's only job, of all the 400,000 deities that there are, and there's more than that actually, but the main ones, the Jizo's job is probably the most difficult. He's the what would you call, the protector and guider of lost children's souls. So if a child dies early, whether it's abortion, miscarried, or just dies in their life early, all Jizo's job is to take that entity to the next place. So this particular shrine, it's called a shrine, but therefore inside is Jizo, and then so sometimes you'll see the little Buddhist mark on there. It's because he's a god. But you come up here and you ring the bell, and you make an offering, and you pray. And I put lanterns in here because I don't have little mini statues of Jizo. And what the monks over the years have carved different images of Jizo and placed them, and they're absolutely beautiful. You'll be driving down the countryside, you'll notice Jizo because he always has specifically has a little red apron bib right below his neck. And you'll see these all over, and you always know that the bibs are handmade from grandmothers and mothers. There's a Shitennoji temple in Osaka. There, right behind, there's a small temple dedicated to Jizo. And these little, everybody who's had a child lost has bought a small, donated money and had a concrete doll put up, and there's just hundreds and hundreds of them, and it kills you. It breaks your heart. But Jizo, to me, of all the gods, and I'm not a big god person, and I respect it all. You can't hear a dog whistle, so there's things on this earth we can't hear. So there's definitely things we can't see. So there may be all these different gods and stuff, but Jizo's got my vote, man. He's if that's the story is amazing. Takes care of lost children's entities. And then once you walk down these tons of stairs over here, you come to the Ottawa Falls. Now, this was the original falls founded by a guy named Kinshin. He had a dream to go north from Nara because he lived an ascetic lifestyle. He runs into this warrior a couple of years later who helps build the first temple here. And again, all this has got a 1,200-year-old history, but again, it's burned down. How many times? I think 7 or 8 times. Yeah, no, over 10 times. I'm sorry, since its formation. So, and again, the Buddhists say if you don't follow true Buddhism, and different Buddhism is to be taught at different times in the world. You're going to be susceptible to things like that. So, but they hardcore and always had money to rebuild. Just actually finished their renovation on their roof. They've been building, redoing for 9 years, and $55 million project, $32 million in scaffolding. So the $23 million for the roof itself. So definitely got to go check that out. They just took all the scaffolding down last month. Here's my cool waterfall. Way better than the one at Kiyomizudera. Kiyo is clear, Mizu is water, Dera is temple. And what you do here, the old idea of this is that women would go there to purify. But these days, they say that this is money, and this is wisdom, and this is love. Okay, so you're supposed to go back here, and then there's cups back here that you can take that are hermetically cleansed, and you take the cup and you put it under one of the three. You can't drink from all three because in Buddhism you can't be selfish. So you have to pick: is it wisdom that you want? Is it love that you want? Is it what is it that you want? And then you drink from that cup. But you're supposed to take the cup and pour it in your hand and then drink it. But the Chinese tourists won't listen, and they drink directly from the cup. So people think that's gross, so they just put their hands under there now. So anywho, that's what Ottawa Falls. That was the falls, and it's been. Actually, we have a thing called misogi that we're going to talk about at Nanzenji. Did we already talk about Nanzenji? We didn't go to Nanzenji. Yeah, misogi. 700 years they've been practicing what's called misogi, and the monks come in the morning and they stand under the falls. And whether it's, December or June, they're out there under the falls, and they're doing their aesthetic practice. Underneath the Kiyomizudera, again, are some of those cedar, beautiful, and I can't recreate it here. It is so massive, so big. It's just absolutely 6,000 square feet. It's a huge building, so you get the chance to come. We'll take a good look at it at that time. But I did build a little forest. Look at my forest, man. It took a lot of time to build this forest from the ocean floor, and I'm pretty proud of it. We put a little stream. I got flowers. And then up here, when you're walking back, you go back, and there's a little turtle pond. Damn it. So these guys, what are you doing? Yeah, I know you're supposed to be in there. That's where. Why do you stay up? Here, move. Yeah, I made them. Look at them, like I'm gonna feed them or something. I put them in here for. See, I got fish in there. See the fish, and then I put these guys in there, and they won't. They like to bathe sunbathe all the time. Well, all right, and I don't want to hit them or anything and make them go in there because they're just too damn cute. So anyway, and no, the turtles in the real pond aren't that big. Now, to finish up Kiyomizudera, because we got time limit here. I don't know how much we're on here. Let me see. We're on 25 minutes. We got to close this up. We would usually leave here, but out the back here, and if I have time with my tourists, my visitors, I'll take them back to the largest. And I couldn't build it to scale, but this gives you an idea. There's a huge cemetery in the back there. It's absolutely amazing. It's absolutely beautiful. But I kind of recreated this to give you kind of an idea of what it's like. So, yep, that's Kiyomizudera, 1,200 years of history. Let's go ahead and fly up. One more passover. It's east of Kyoto Station. You go through the Neomon, go past the pagoda, go past the Zuigodo Hall, go through the main gate, and you got the main temple itself. Yeah, pretty cool. My roof's pretty bad too, huh? You got the Love Shrine in the back there. You got the two other Buddhist temples with the Jizo Shrine, and there's Ottawa Falls. Okay, so those mountains way in the back, that's Fushimi. We've already visited them once. And there's my beautiful garden, and then ends up at the cemetery. So, guys, thank you very much. We'll fly back to Kyoto Station, get our bearings. Thank you very much. It's a lot of fun. If you have the chance to have others take a look at it, please let them know that this is what I'm doing. I have a lot of time on my hands. You must have time sitting at home in quarantine. So please let me know if you'd like to see anything else. But I'll upload the other ones in the near future. So, guys, take care. Have a great day, and we'll see you soon.